Well, I'd like to take just a few moments to talk about the power of iconography. Now, if you happen to be a high-level Republican strategist, you're probably saying the power of what now? And if you're a high-level Democratic strategist, you might be thinking, oh, crap, he's on to us. You see this lovely steak dinner here? It's appetizing, isn't it? But of course, if you put this in a blender and hit the puree button, it comes out looking like this. Exact same content, different packaging. I believe the conservative message is, on balance, the most nutritious philosophical meal ever devised, but the packaging of that message has been an unmitigated disaster. Here's the stage from last year's Republican National Convention. Wow. Probably took a good half hour to design that and maybe double that time to build. It's a square plank poking you right in the eye. But now look at last year's DNC stage. It looks like the entrance to Tomorrowland at Disney World. Look at how it's lit. Look at those curving screens leading the eye right up to heaven. It's inviting, it's warm, it's new and exciting. And if you don't think this matters, I'm sorry to tell you, you're wrong. Let's take the tale of two rodents to illustrate this point, two classically simple pieces of iconography. This line drawing conjures up a completely different set of emotions and expectations than this one does, doesn't it? Look at these two masterpieces of iconography. Look at how simple they are. Can you begin to see how something this simple can conjure up so many images and feelings from your own childhood? The power of an icon is in its ability to evoke a subconscious emotional response. Advertising has a term for this phenomenon. It's called branding. Now, during the campaign season, it's common to try and get an icon to stand for a candidate. George W. Bush used the W in his two presidential runs, the W offsetting him from his father's same-name presidency. It's not bad. But the application of it was strictly limited to lawn signs and bumper stickers. That's amateur hour by today's standards. But now we come to the gold standard. From a pure design standpoint, I've always found this to be a little infantile, but the fact is it's a classic. Plowed fields of grain under the sunrise of a new tomorrow, all in the shape of the O. O for Obama, of course, but also O for the one, the circle, complete and self-contained, sunrise and prosperity within the circle of life, and outside it nothing but barren emptiness. In terms of what it evokes, it's a masterpiece, and the way the Obama team used it and continues to use it is absolutely brilliant. Take a look at this image. It's from the official Obama website. Notice how all of the traditional American iconography, the eagle, the stars, the flag, the motto, E pluribus unum, are all slowly fading out into a diffuse heavenly glow, receding into the mists of memory, leaving only the glowing sun, the O, pulling your eye into the future. And there are some very subtle and disturbing things here as well. The American eagle isn't perched to remain here forever, but rather seems on the verge of flying away. The flag is falling. The stars are dissipating into the void. Our national motto, E pluribus unum, out of many, one, is virtually unreadable. It's like letters stamped in soft sand. The only thing that's sharp and well-defined in this image is the circle, the O. That's what's permanent and immovable. Everything else is fading away. You think this is an accident? Think again. Now, when George Bush was elected, the W logo was put away for 4 years until it was dragged out again for his second campaign. But this logo is still with us. At myBarackObama.com, we see images of a diverse group of citizens being called to organize for America. Men and women of various ages and ethnicities. What do they have in common? Oh, yeah, I see. They're all branded. You know, myBarackObama.com is run by the Democratic National Committee. The new Democratic Party logo looks like this, which is great, by the way. Dynamic and energetic. It's a far, far cry from this stodgy, uninspired, static, childlike thing. But this, pardon the expression, kickin' Democratic Party logo appears nowhere on myBarackObama.com. However, the Obama logo is everywhere. Everywhere. It's everywhere. They even tell you flat out it's everywhere. You know, to the best of my knowledge, this is, again, pardon the expression, unprecedented. I believe it is unique in the American experience to brand an individual leader. The President of the United States has a logo. Here it is. It's a pretty exclusive club. Barack Obama is one of only 43 people in the history of the world authorized to use this logo. Grover Cleveland technically being both the 22nd and the 24th president. The fact that we see the Obama logo attached to healthcare proposals means that we are seeing an individual brand, that of Barack Obama, being used alongside and in many cases in place of the logo of the President of the United States. That's interesting, and I don't like it. The man won the election and the right to use the seal of the President of the United States. The fact that we continue to see the Obama logo used by the Democratic National Committee tells me that this is a perpetual campaign. And what they are branding is, in fact, an ideology centered around a cult of personality. Now, we've seen in the past the dangers of branding an ideology with an icon. The two great totalitarian ideologies of the early 20th century both used powerful icons to represent their ideas. I'm not going to show those here because it would be obscene. It would be absolutely obscene to compare the horror they generated, 150 million dead, no less, to what's going on here today. That was mass murder. This is merely advertising. We've just never seen that kind of thing before here in America. The Obama logo has been extremely powerful, but there is a weakness embedded in the power of identity. If this logo is shorthand for all of the positives that President Obama wants to project, then it can also be used as a shorthand for his negatives as well. Lately, there's been an avalanche of anti-Obama merchandise, most of it centering around the ubiquitous O. Here in Los Angeles, we've for years seen an iconic image by an artist named Shepard Fairey. He's a charming guy, one of whom's collection is entitled E Pluribus Venom. We've seen his famous Obey poster plastered all over LA for many years. The face is based on the wrestler Andre the Giant, and it's a powerful image. Shepard's latest work is, of course, this, which is so striking that it immediately became the unofficial Barack Obama poster and rapidly produced any number of parodies. But the worm is turning. Now here's Shepard Fairey's work turned in on itself. It's not a bad job. And also, of course, this has been getting a lot of attention lately. It first appeared pasted on a remote pillar in essentially the middle of nowhere. Of course, LA Weekly called it an abomination, a call to a lynching, adding, quote, "all that's missing is the noose," unquote. However, on the other hand, this image, published in Vanity Fair, not on a remote overpass by some unknown street artist, but rather by the editor of a national major magazine, was, on the other hand, hailed as brilliant satire and a remarkable statement on the sad state of American affairs. This is an excellent Photoshop job, but as propaganda, it could use a little work. The Joker's signature line was, "Why so serious?" Now, if you had done this, you might have had a masterpiece. This image works because of the fake smile hiding sinister intent. Many people are starting to get that impression of this president. This image has real power. But people obsessed with their own image expect some kind of opposition. However, there's one thing the true narcissist cannot tolerate. This is the killer app. I wouldn't worry about the Joker poster so much, Mr. President, but if this ever catches on and your policies are reduced to three-letter ridicule, well, sir, then you are in real trouble.